Join me as we examine the Sombrero Galaxy's turbulent past, from what it is now to what it was in the past and what it could signify for the future. Wait a minute, there's a place in the universe called the Sombrero Galaxy, you may be thinking. Yes, there is, and it is only one of many fantastic and strange things that have occurred in the cosmos as a whole. If you're curious, the galaxy got its name from its resemblance to the same-named Mexican hat. It has a big central bulge and a brilliant core, and its spiral arms pass through a thick dust lane that forms the ring that surrounds the central bulge. The appearance of the galaxy is due to our seeing it edge on. Sombrero Galaxy is an unbarred spiral galaxy that may be seen in the constellation Virgo. It is predicted to be 29 million light-years away from Earth. The Sombrero Galaxy was first described by Pierre Méchain in 1781, but it was not formally added to the Messier catalogue until 140 years later, in 1921. Among the first astronomers to describe it were William Herschel and Charles Messier. Messier had made a note about the galaxy, and 5 other objects that he intended to add to the collection of celestial objects that is now known as the Messier catalogue. Messier's handwritten notes regarding his later discoveries, including the Sombrero Galaxy, were discovered and added to the list by French astronomer Camille Flammarion. Vesto Slipher, an American astronomer working at the Lowell Observatory at the time, noticed that the Sombrero Galaxy had a very high red shift, proving that it was quite distant and outside the Milky Way. Before Slipher's discovery, astronomers thought the Sombrero was a Milky Way spiral nebula. There has been a lot of research into the Sombrero Galaxy, and one of the things that has piqued the interest of many people is the presence of a supermassive black hole at its center. This is significant since it is thought that the vast majority of galaxies have a black hole at their core. So being able to observe and examine this one has been a big help to that theory. This particular black hole has been investigated so thoroughly that we believe we have a rough estimate of its mass, which is enormous. It appears to have the mass of 1 billion of our suns. Researchers believe that the Sombrero's black hole is the most enormous ever discovered at the center of a galaxy. Outside of its shape, you might assume the Sombrero Galaxy to be nothing more than a standard type of creature. But you'd be mistaken. The Hubble telescope has been observing the Sombrero Galaxy for a long time, and it has discovered a number of anomalies. Specifically, there are aspects of its unusual shape that are inconsistent with basic galaxies. Hubble's clarity and sensitivity resolve tens of thousands of individual stars in the Sombrero's huge, extended halo, which is normally made up of older stars. The latest Sombrero discoveries are upending conventional thought, revealing only a tiny proportion of older, metal-poor stars in the halo, as well as an unexpected abundance of metal-rich stars generally found solely in a galaxy's disk and core bulge. This means that the Sombrero Galaxy is much more than we think it is, and it has many top scientists baffled as to what is going on and how it got this way in the first place. The Sombrero Galaxy has always been a bit of a weird galaxy, which is what makes it so interesting, said Paul Goudfruage of the Space Telescope Science Institute, STSCI, in Baltimore, Maryland. Hubble's metallicity measurements, i.e., the abundance of heavy elements in stars, are yet another indication that the Sombrero has a lot to teach us about galaxy assembly and evolution. Hubble's observations of the Sombrero's halo are turning our generally accepted understanding of galaxy makeup and metallicity on its head, said STSCI co-investigator Roger Cohen. So, what are the various explanations for how the Sombrero Galaxy came to be this way? One of the most logical explanations is that it is the outcome of a combined galaxy. Remember that the universe's position isn't as stable as you would imagine. Galaxies not only travel about in their own orbits, but they also crash with one another on occasion. The Milky Way has done this numerous times, as has the Andromeda Galaxy, our neighbor. And, given the sometimes violent fusions of this event, it could explain some of the Sombrero Galaxy's unique features. There is only one flaw in that theory. When a group of galaxies fuses, it becomes incredibly disorderly, and the leftovers of the fusion may be seen in the shape and debris. The Sombrero Galaxy, on the other hand, is astonishingly slender in shape. Something unexpected from a galaxy that recently devoured another galaxy. As you can see, this galaxy is riddled with mysteries that must be unraveled. When compared to the busy stellar cities in a galaxy's main disk, astronomers anticipate to find earlier generations of stars with less heavy elements, known as metals, in the halo. Elements are formed as a result of the stellar life cycle process, and the longer a galaxy's stars have gone through this cycle, the more element-rich the gas and the higher metallicity stars that develop from that gas. According to traditional thinking, these younger, high metallicity stars are often located in the galaxy's main disk, where the stellar population is denser. But, as we've hinted, the Sombrero Galaxy defies the common thinking about the universe and galaxies in general. Our is one of the reasons why people are drawn to our galaxy. The presence of many old, metal-poor globular clusters of stars complicates matters. These older, metal-poor stars are supposed to eventually move out of their clusters and into the general stellar halo, but in the Sombrero Galaxy, this process appears to have been inefficient. The researchers compared their findings to current computer simulations to see what could be causing such unexpected metallicity measurements in the galaxy's halo. The findings supported our earlier assertion that the Sombrero Galaxy had undergone a significant event that resulted in it merging with another galaxy and absorbing its contents into its own. Which would have been wonderful and rational, but the Sombrero Galaxy shows no signs of being the cause, or the aftermath, of such a collision. Numerous interacting galaxies, like as the iconic antennae galaxies, acquire their names from the twisted look of their spiral arms as a result of their interactions' tidal forces. Mergers of comparable massive galaxies often result in big, smooth elliptical galaxies with extended halos, a billion-year process. The Sombrero, on the other hand, has never fully fit the usual definitions of a spiral or an elliptical galaxy. It is somewhere in the middle, a hybrid. A hybrid that happens to look like a hat, but nevertheless a hybrid. So, where does that leave us in terms of our views on the galaxy? There's a lot to decipher, and given the unique nature of the galaxy, scientists want to employ all the equipment they can to gain the finest possible image of it. Which is now difficult with the Hubble Space Telescope, but there is optimism in the horizon. The study team hopes that future observatories will continue to investigate the Sombrero's unusual features. With a range of vision 100 times that of Hubble, the Wide Range Infrared Survey Telescope, WFIRST, will be able to capture a continuous image of the galaxy's halo while picking up more stars in infrared light. The James Webb Space Telescope will also be useful because of its high resolution and infrared sensitivity. When it comes to studying space, you must have the correct equipment. The Hubble Space Telescope helps us see the shape of the planet and some of the stars that are causing it to be viewed differently, as well as a glimpse at the black hole at its heart, but this is insufficient. These new technologies will allow people to view more of the galaxy and attempt to answer problems such as how it came to be the shape it is, why the stars are the way they are, and so on. It's a waiting game, but it could pay off handsomely. Not to mention that this galaxy has a lot of promise for helping us learn more about other hybrid galaxies in the larger cosmos. You would believe that the Sombrero Galaxy is an outlier in terms of shape, but there are a lot more strange galaxies out there for us to ponder how they got that way. Do you want an example? In the instance of ESO 137-001, it is a jellyfish-shaped galaxy. No, the spiral form of the galaxy is still present. But it also has a tail made by stars in its wake, if you will, and it's a long one, extending almost 260,000 light-years into space. The newly developing stars in the tail are puzzling because mechanisms typical in huge clusters of galaxies should make new stars difficult to emerge. The Milky Way, for example, is a part of the local group, which also includes galaxies like Andromeda and the Triangulum Spiral. Some galaxies are found in considerably bigger groups of hundreds or even thousands of galaxies called galactic clusters. But that's not what's going on here, and that's what makes it all the more bizarre. Both gas and dust are being stripped away, but how much and what happens to the stripped material and the galaxy itself are still unknowns, said Stacey Alberts, a co-investigator on the study. Researchers are unsure how stars can form at all within the tail, given that the stripping process should have heated the gas. We believe it will be difficult to separate a molecular cloud that is already forming stars. because it should be gravitationally bound to the galaxy. This means we're either wrong, or this gas was stripped off and heated up, but then had to cool again so it could condense and form stars, Alberts explained. Or, for something truly unique in terms of shape, how about ESO 381-12? Not only is this galaxy expanding, but it is expanding in a way and shape that scientists are baffled by. How so? It appears to be a flower in bloom, and the petals, as they are termed, are not symmetrical. This not only creates a very aesthetic effect, but it also creates a mystery because no one knows how they created, why they look like way, or how the stars within them properly work. There are other theories as to what they are, including shockwaves shown in photographs of the galaxy, with the shockwaves caused by galaxies colliding, which this one may have had. But no one knows for sure if that's true. As you can see, there are many hybrid galaxies out there that defy the trend in terms of what they look like and how they are shaped, and we need to study ones like the Sombrero Galaxy to learn more about how galaxies can originate in this manner. Because what are you doing right now? We have no understanding how it all works, which makes it all the more bizarre and mysterious. That being said, if you wish to take part in the research of the Sombrero Galaxy, you can. The Sombrero Galaxy has an apparent magnitude, brightness, of roughly 9.0, making it visible with common telescopes. Even basic binoculars may see the Sombrero Galaxy on a dark night. It can be visible between the constellations Corvus and Virgo in the spring and early summer. According to researchers, the Sombrero Galaxy contains at least 100 stars for every human on Earth, while our planet currently has over 7 billion people. Furthermore, the nucleus of the galaxy may contain up to 2,000 globular clusters, which is roughly 10 times the number of clusters in the Milky Way galaxy. The Sombrero's globular clusters, like the Milky Way, are considered to be between 10 and 13 billion years old. As you can see, there is a lot to look at in the Sombrero Galaxy, and it has the age of being around since near the beginning of the universe. That may be why scientists are so interested in studying it. Because if we can solve the mysteries of one galaxy, we will almost certainly be able to solve the mysteries of another.